Hey guys, welcome back. Here we are at war number 1 of season 34. I have a little bit of a different war today. I am on path 3 in section 1, which I can't really remember the last time I took. But up first is a Sym Supreme on Hit Me, I Dare You and Static Defense. So basically, whenever he has an armor up, I have a chance of getting shocked. And those little light blue charges that he has, when he reaches 10, he will have an armor. So I just want to obviously be mindful of that. I'm hitting him as little as possible. Was a little early on a heavy counter there, but Sym Supreme's health pool is so small and Omega does so much damage like every second of the fight that it was no big deal. And then next up I have Venom here. I honestly don't really remember off the top of my head. I think this node has enhanced armor ups and power focus too. So he's going to be gaining power faster than normal. I'm trying not to push him to special 2, but it's about to happen here in a second. And obviously Venom's special 2 is just like a little sketchy, so I'm going to block that. And yeah, he goes down quick as well. Next up I have Manthing on 20, which I've taken many times. And this fight is about to go absolutely terrible, and I will show you guys exactly where I mess up, but I'm also victim of some pretty bad input issues here. So right here is where I really messed up the fight by like dashing back. I let spores fall off. If I would have stayed close and kept spores up, I would have been in a much better position to recover when I start dealing with some input issues. I'm being really passive. I think I was just a little bit rusty at this fight because it has been over a season since I've taken it. But yeah, so right here you'll see I have my first issue with inputs. I go to Dex and completely eat that special one. So invul number 1 of 3 is gone. But I'm still winning the health pool race. Like, things are going well. I'm just going to hit him minimally again early on a heavy counter there. And yeah, I am watching for the Mystic Dispersion. Except right here, I do forget about it for a second. And I lose the last 2 hits of my invuln. And that was a Dex that did not register, which I know he had fairies. But a 76k crit. So frustrating on a missed input. My input issues have been so bad over the past few days specifically. So as per usual, I restarted my phone. Like I took every precaution that I possibly could to make sure that I was, like in a good spot. I turned the beta refractor off because I felt like my inputs were worth it on. But that was my worst fight with input issues. I'll have a couple of other things happen that you'll see in a little bit. It's super frustrating that I died there. I've taken that fight so many times. I think going forward, I'm going to power start 1 there instead of invuln and just try to better manage his fairies. I've never had an issue with it before, but obviously that fight can go south, and I think that was a perfect example of how it can if you're not playing properly. Anyway, moving on. We'll leave that in the past. Really annoying. I died to my 3rd fight of this season, but it's okay. Moving on, I'm taking Nick Fury here on Mixmaster. Again, a fight I've taken so many times. Basically here, strategy is pretty simple. I want to alternate my hits, medium light. I don't want to repeat the same combination of attacks twice in a row, and then I'll throw in a heavy if I need to lock in spores. So yeah, alternate heavies, medium lights, don't repeat the same attack twice. And I mean, he just gets Nick Fury down pretty fast. I do tend to take a lot of block damage here in his second life, because obviously he has his Fury, he's hitting a little harder, so that's okay, no big deal. We will just finish it up right here. Alright, so not too bad. For section 2, this is where things get a little different. I haven't taken path 7 in a while. I'll be taking this Korg here with Omega, and you'll see right off the bat I have some weird like missed frames right there. I had like I don't know, threw me off, lost my invuln right away. I used way too many invuln boosts this war. I have one left. It was irresponsible in retrospect, but I just wanted to be super safe for all of my fights. Really not necessary for this fight. Normally, obviously at the beginning that doesn't happen, and Korg is not going to kill me if he hits me 3 times, so it's okay. I left Dex on here, even though it's Spite, because his heavy is pretty easy to avoid without actually triggering Dex. And I Dex out of that special too, so I can throw a close heavy, but I removed my Dex buff right away. So, yeah, not too bad overall. And then moving on, here's where things are going to get a little more interesting in terms of my team utilization. I'm using iBom, who I've been actually using quite a bit in off season, and will probably be using a lot more often this season, since he's one of my only Defiance attackers I really have ranked up. I did take off Dex here, which I don't really think was necessary, but I was, you know, just being overly safe. I'm pretty comfortable Dexing out of, well, not Dexing, but avoiding his hits, his heavy and his special one, etc. without having Dex active. So I would rather be extra careful. So he does have kinetic transference here as well, so I am trying to not let him hit into my block whenever I can avoid it, and of course watching for prompts as well. So since my iBom is not awakened as of now, I had another frame rate drop when I threw that special one, if you guys caught that. I am going to throw, my plan at least is to throw special 1, special 2, special 1, get him into acid burn, he'll die right away. But as you can see, he's dying pretty fast as it is. So I got my special 1 off. I kind of stopped keeping track of his self poisons here, or like my self poisons. And right here, I'm going to throw a special 2 prematurely. He only has 3 poisons. It's like, I don't know. I'm actually going to give a gem to iBom because his ramp up when he's not awakened is just kind of lackluster for me, and I don't know. He went down. It was fine. But we'll move on. We'll have some better iBom action later this season, I'm sure. I have a black cat here on 48, which I was actually really nervous for. This is the fight I was most nervous for in this war. Use another invuln. So annoying. Anyway, I practiced her special animations and her heavy animations a lot throughout the day. I also practiced her heavy animation against the wall, just because this AI lately, man, is like, it's so crazy. So I just wanted to make sure I was well prepared. So yeah, I mean, obviously it's great to prepare for your war fights, do duels, use boosts, whatever you need to do. But in this particular case, the invuln was not necessary. She is going down fine. I'm blocking her special ones just because I want to be careful, and they caught me a couple of times in duels, so I just didn't want to mess with that. But yeah, she's down. Starting off the season with a 7-1 record, which is not great. But following the past trend of last season, dying in the first war, hopefully I won't have too many more after that, if any. That's the goal, right? So yeah, wraps up first war of the season. Overall a good one. We ended up winning this war, which is awesome. We're off to a great start, and yeah, looking forward to the rest of the season. I will catch you guys later.